Hey guys, so I am doing my, sorry if the lighting is bad, just I'm using natural light because my overhead light is burnt out. My hair looks good. So I am doing fantasy football this season. This is my second season, second year. I did 2013, I'm doing 2014 year, fantasy football, and I had my mom's boyfriend to help me last draft, which was the 2013 draft, but he is not going to be here tonight, so he gave me these cheat sheets. And if you guys are doing fantasy football, I don't know if you guys do it. I like doing fantasy football. I just think it's fun to have like a bunch of different people watching a bunch of different games, going for a bunch of different people. So I have 4 sheets of paper. I'm only going to be going over part of one. I'm going to name the top 10 for each. There's quarterbacks, running backs, or quarterbacks, tight ends, running backs, wide receivers, defense, and kickers. The second sheet has a list of 300 people. It's just everybody on this paper just ranked. Like, it doesn't matter where you stand. It's just rankings 1 through 80. It's just like the number one player out of quarterbacks, wide receivers, tight ends, running backs, everything on defense, kickers, anything, is Adrian Peterson. He's number 10 for wide receivers, running backs. No, he's number 1. Why does it say 10? That's his bye week. So I'm going to be going over top 10 of each of those categories. So this is just a wider spread of papers. This is number 1 people on teams and bye weeks. And if I go fast, I have to go somewhere later in a couple, like 20 minutes. And then going over part of this, like suspensions, and people like that. So the first sheet that I'm going to start off with is this sheet, and naming the top 10. So, for my fantasy football league, personally, I do not choose Cowboys players. I'm sorry if I'm offending you. I am a Redskins fan. So I don't like Dallas. So I won't be choosing Cowboys, and I prefer not to choose Baltimore Ravens. I don't like their team. I definitely will not be choosing Joe Flacco as my quarterback. I just despise him. I'm so glad that Ray Lewis is not in the NFL anymore. He retired 2 seasons ago. Yeah, 2 seasons ago. If I'm offending anybody, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to. I'm giving my personal opinion. This is my personal opinion on. I don't like those teams. There's a couple other teams that I just probably can't think of right now. But if I think of them, I'm going over it. So the first category is quarterbacks, and I'm going to be listing the top 10. So the first one is Peyton Manning from the Denver Broncos. I like Denver, and I'm not just saying that because they went to the Super Bowl, even though they lost terribly bad at the Super Bowl. I have loved them since I was since I started watching football. Like, my family's liked them. I like them. I have my you'll see me in the winter wearing my Broncos sweater with leggings. I wear that a lot. That's just really comfortable. And it's not like I just bought it. I've had that sweatshirt or sweater for years and years and years. It was my mom's, it's mine. We've had it for years. So I like the Denver Broncos. Again, I'm not being bandwagon. 2 is Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay Packers. 3 is Drew Brees from New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, I don't really mind Drew Brees. Matt Stafford, number 4 is Matt Stafford from Detroit Lions. Cam Newton is number 5 from Carolina Panthers. Number 6 is Andrew Luck from Indianapolis Colts. 7, which I disagree with, even though it's my quarterback from my football team. RG3 from Washington Redskins. Personally, I think some of these quarterbacks that I know are better than him. I know that, okay, he won the Heisman, he had a good first year at the Redskins, but we sucked last season because of his throws. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean. I love the Redskins. I have a case signed by RG3. I have an RG3 signed thing. I've met RG3. He's a nice guy. He really is. He's I mean, he's just so humble. But I don't think he's number 7 as out of the top 40 quarterbacks. That was my personal opinion. I think they're going off of his, even though this is from 2014, I think Kirk Cousins could be above him. My personal opinion. RG3 blames his knee for a lot of his problems, which I don't understand. Quarterbacks use their arm. I understand you have to step. But, okay, moving on. That's my personal opinion. I think definitely number 9 should be above him. And number 10. Number 8 is Nick Foles from Philadelphia Eagles. I do not like them. I prefer not to choose Philadelphia Eagles, even though I had Nick Foles on my team as my backup quarterback for fantasy last year. He's a good quarterback. He got me points. I don't like Philly though, so I won't choose Steelers. That's another team. I don't like Steelers. Number 9 is, I think, who should be above RG3 is Colin Kaepernick from San Francisco 49ers. He was my first string quarterback for my fantasy last year. First game, he got me 38 points. He's a really good quarterback. So that's my personal opinion. And number 10, which is the last one that I'm going to say, I also think should be above RG3. Again, I'm not trying to bash on RG3. RG3 is a really good quarterback. But it's not a 100% quarterback. Number 10 is Russell Wilson from the Seattle Seahawks. They obviously won the Super Bowl last year. If you didn't know, sorry, we're like an itch in my ponytail. So I have to fix my ponytail anyway. Those are the top 10 quarterbacks. Seahawks, I don't really mind them. They're kind of like nothing really. There are those teams. I don't know if you guys feel, but there are those teams to me that are like I forget about them. Like I feel bad, but I forget about like some team names. Like I forget about them. Like Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm kind of gonna go through this. Buffalo Bills, Seahawks, Houston Texans, Oakland. There's just some of those teams that I just don't always remember. My fault, but still. Top 10 tight ends. Number 1 is Jimmy Graham from New Orleans Saints. 2 is Julius Thomas from Denver Broncos. 3 is Rob Gronkowski from New England Patriots. 4 is Vernon Davis from San Francisco 49ers. 5 is Jason Witten from Dallas Cowboys. Some of these names I haven't even heard of. Number 6 is Jordan Cameron from Cleveland Browns. Again, they're one of those teams. 7 is Greg Olsen from Carolina Panthers. 8 is Dennis Pitta. Don't know how to pronounce that. From Baltimore Ravens. 9 is Kyle Rudolph from Minnesota Vikings. They're one of those teams too. Again, I just forget about them. And number 10 is Jordan Reed from Washington Redskins. I have 2 things signed by 2 Redskins players. Where's my other one? I have 2 things, yeah, 2 things signed by 2 Redskins players. First one, I'll actually show you those. One is by, like I said, RG3, and one is by a retired tight end from the Redskins. First one is Chris Cooley. That was his number 47. Still washing. That's just dusty. But I love this. He was my favorite player. He still is. I have his jersey. I love this case. I'd never wear it because I just don't want it to wash off. And the last thing is, this was my favorite. This was like one of my favorite cases. I used to wear all the time. Now I don't wear it. It's because this is my RG3 signed case. I got on the back of my Autobox. That was just the case I was wearing that day. Should have worn another one that I don't really use that much. But I just didn't know that I was gonna eat him, I guess. So that was that. Okay, so now we're going to go with the top 10 running backs. Actually, why is that not? It's not plugged in. I was like, why is it not charging? There we go. Really? Now it's gonna drag. Okay, number 1 is Adrian Peterson from Minnesota. Number 2 is LaShawn McCoy from Philly. Number 3 is Jamal Charles from Kansas City. Number 4 is Matt Forte from Chicago Bears. Number 5 is Marshawn Lynch. Marshawn Lynch? Yeah. From Seattle Seahawks. Number 6 is Eddie Lacy from Green Bay, who was on my fantasy football team last year, who was really good. Number 7 is Adrian Foster from Houston. Number 8 is Doug Martin from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Number 9 is DeMarco Murray from Dallas. And number 10 is Le'Veon Bell from Pittsburgh, who is suspended, I believe. I think he's suspended. Now we're going to go with wide receivers, who I want. Number 1 is Calvin Johnson from Detroit Lions. Number 2 is Demaryius Thomas from Denver. Number 3 is A.J. Green from Cincinnati. Number 4 is Des Bryant from Dallas. Number 5 is Brandon Marshall from Chicago. Number 6 is Julio Jones from Atlanta. I think that's how you pronounce it. Julio, I don't know. Number 7 is Jordy Nelson from Green Bay. Number 8 is Alshon Jeffrey from Chicago. Number 9 is Antonio Brown from Pittsburgh. And number 10 is Randall Cobb from Green Bay. I had Antonio Brown. And now we're going to go with defense. There's only about 15, but I'm just going to say 10. First one is Seattle Seahawks. Second is Carolina Panthers. Third is San Francisco 49ers. Fourth is Denver Broncos. Fifth is Arizona Cardinals. Sixth is Cincinnati Bengals. 7 is St. Louis Rams. 8 is Kansas City Chiefs. 9 is New England Patriots. And 10 is Buffalo Bills. And then there's only 15 kickers, but I'm only going to say 10. Number 1 is Matt Prater from Denver. Number 2 is Stephen Gostkowski from New England. 3 is Justin Tucker from Baltimore. 4 is Mason Crosby from Green Bay. 5 is Stephen Hauska, I don't know how to pronounce that last name, from Seahawks. Again, I want to say 7. 6 is Phil Dawson from San Francisco. 7 is Nick Novak from San Diego. 8 is Adam Ventrelli from Indianapolis. 9 is Blair Walsh from Minnesota. And 10 is Dan Bailey from Dallas. Okay. Now for the next sheet. I'm not actually going to go over this sheet. This sheet's going to take too long. But it's just saying the bye weeks for AFC East, AFC North, AFC South, AFC West, and NFC East, NFC North, NFC South, NFC West. I'll say the teams in every category. We have in AFC East, we have Bills, Dolphins. Dolphins are one of those teams too. Jets and this is Patriots. And AFC North is Bengals, Browns, Baltimore, and Steelers. AFC South is Colts, Jaguars, Texans, and Tennessee Titans. AFC West is Broncos, Chargers, Kansas City, and Raiders. And NFC East is Dallas, Eagles, New York, and Redskins. And NFC North, I meant to say NFC East. NFC North is Chicago. So Bears, Lions, Packers, Vikings. NFC South is Buccaneers, Falcons. Falcons are one of those teams too. Panthers and Saints. At NFC West is 49ers, Cardinals, Rams, and Seahawks. Rams are also one of those teams. And then there's two people on my thing that I have that I know are suspended, and it's wide receivers is AJ Green. AJ Green is on Cincinnati, and kickers, Matt Prater from the Broncos are suspended. So those are all my papers. Sorry about my thing lagging. It's annoying me, so I'm trying not to look at my screen. But that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys later. Bye.